Hey guys, Taranto here, bringing you a 1v1 today. Today spawning on the right, we have Cloudcore playing as the British forces. And on the left we have Jeanne, I believe that's how it's pronounced, playing as Wehrmacht. Looks like they've gone for Luftwaffe. And it's Indian artillery for Cloudcore. So this is the classic strat on this map, Taranto Coastline. Paradrop a squad up to here and just make things miserable. The player just cannot cap this fuel when you've got that squad here, so it's a real pain, and this is very annoying strategy that you can airdrop these guys in first second of the game and kind of hold up a player's process, especially bad on this map. But anyway, this is a Patreon backer submitted game, but both these players are of rank. I think Cloudcore is 130 with Brits. Jeanne has played 9 games with Wehrmacht at the moment. Doesn't have a placement, but is top 80 with all 3 of the other factions, so knows what they're up to.
You heard the boss. Sandbags now.
Sandbags coming up, and it looks like Cloudcore is just going to completely ignore this area, maybe waiting until the flamethrowers can be upgraded.
Sandbags are laid, Commander.
Tries to go like around by capping this muni point, capping the manpower point, and this US player maybe has like a bit more counters to this. You know, you can get smoke quite early on your scouts. Smoke in here, maybe do some shenanigans. But not as many options for Brits until you get that flame upgrade, which is, you know, 10 units cheaper than it was Company of Heroes 2, so can come out a bit earlier, especially if you cap this fast high munitions point early on in the match, which looks like Cloudcore's done and gone for a 2 Royal Engineer start into sections now.
An infantry section is present and accounted for.
Meanwhile, we've got a sniper out the back here. He dropped in 1 Pioneer, looks like. Now switching into Grenadiers. We're kind of just using it to harass up here. Not really trying to spam like 3 of them like we see quite often. Sandbags up for Cloudcore on the VP. Typical, you know, sandbag up behind that. Block it from the other side. And here we go. Section sneaks up here and forces away the Falchion Pioneer. I keep wanting to call them Luftwaffe Pioneers for some reason, but kind of does make sense, but it's not their name.
Infantry section trained and ready. A victory point is being overrun.
So finally getting some fuel income now. Cloudcore, 3 sections to follow this up.
Sappers, eager as we'll ever be.
Flags raised!
Can we blow it up now?
The enemy has our victory point.
So far, sniper, 0 kills.
We're losing a capture point.
There we go, gets his first shot in. And snipers in this game have an incredibly high rate of fire. Far faster than they did in Company of Heroes 2.
The sector is in enemy control.
So they are a real nuisance, especially if you don't have a counter-sniping opportunity. But the section actually gets a few good hits in there. Gets them quite low. Chase them down, trying to get a bit more damage. Forces to retreat. Got 1 more bullet in there, I think, as well. Does already have healing back here, so it's not going to matter too much that early damage onto the sniper. Early healing completed by Jeanne. But looks like Cloudcore having some success in the north. I said quite a lot of munitions. Maybe should have popped a flamer on one of these 2 engineers. Going for a 4th section now.
A new infantry section is ready for battle. We've lost a sector.
Alright, well there goes the Pios.
Sandbags! Quick shot!
Getting some sandbags up here. I think this was a pretty good rotation overall. Just kind of push up into the north. Here comes the sniper backed up by the Grenadier. And it's going to be Luftwaffe Company. So this is a pretty big departure, I'd say, from Jeanne, from the meta build. Most players don't bother building that and just go for the call-in. Go for way more infantry than this at the start as well. Let's snipe up to Vet 1 already. 5 kills in Vet 1. Wow. I don't know what Vet 1 does. Tier 1 description, but maybe that's just a replay bug, I don't know.
Section CP is taking down.
Either way, look at this map control from Cloudcore. Tremendous. It's gone for the recon package with this squad.
The enemy have taken our territory. We're losing a victory point.
Meanwhile, a bit of harass all the way down here. Looks like Cloudcore's going to go in with the interrupt. I believe those sections do have that capture rate bonus, right? I think it's like 25%-ish. Look at this, here we go, looking for the wipe.
Victory point belongs to the
I think the sniper lost vision there. Section trying to win this. Does have the base right here. It must be very close to being able to reinforce off it. Does have the option of like doing a slight run back. But then, oh, the cover's actually been destroyed here, so it would have worked out fine. Maybe a slight run back to about here. Start reinforcing off this building. Yeah, I think it would have been a decent option. Meanwhile, a section up in the north with the recce package. Doing some wrecking on that Pioneer. And looks like a prioritization on capping the VPs at the moment. Sniper comes up here and the section is charging ahead. Has to vault over a few walls, which is going to slow things down a touch. Sniper backpedaling.
Our infantry will be better prepared.
Continuing to chase down the sniper, but it's kind of out of harm's way now. And harass the fuel after that now. And yeah, the squad has to retreat in the end. 11 kills on that sniper already. It's pretty scary. Usually maybe you go for like a Humber to try and counter this. I don't know about a Dingo, like on this map especially, there's so many like walls and stuff that makes it very hard to chase. You know, with the squads vaulting over walls. I don't think the Dingo would work too well on this map. But yeah, with that early harass on the fuel points with the Falchion Pioneer, not really that good. I thought I'd turn these notifications off. Maybe it didn't work. I'll try to do that now. It's graphics, no, gameplay, event queues off. I did turn that off, but I don't think it saved my settings. Anyway. Couple hits on the sniper, but it gets away again. Very frustrating. It's like a recce package on everything, which is maybe a little bit risky. Not going to have boys AT rifles on anything. Meanwhile, we've got a Jaeger squad out now. With the Shrek upgraded. Fires off a flare out the back, maybe hoping to spot the sniper. And yeah, section's having a bit of trouble. Tick is coming up now. Yeah, we're well past the timing for a Humber. You know, that's 3 minutes ago it should have been in the build. I've already got a Shrek on the field, so don't know what the option is going to be, but I think this is where maybe Brits have a bit of a handicap, you know, having to run through all of their tech stages. They can't go for like mass infantry at one stage straight into tier 4 like Wehrmacht can, or other factions. They have to just follow through on every single tech stage.
They're breaking through us, yeah?
But still, some pretty good territory control from Cloudcore, getting some nice harass up in the north. Away from
we have reserves of infantry
away from that sniper. which is already up to 16
We're
kills.
losing a victory point.
Awaiting instructions, sir.
Package squad charging in here. Trick squad hiding behind the building there. But I think this is far enough back that they will have heavy cover and they're not getting nullified. Oh, but the sniper's coming in from the other side. Did their sniper shot just kill the fence? Wow. Flamer coming in, forces away the Jaeger though. And we've got the flak coming in, which is unexpected. So quite a lot of damage done. This is maybe a slightly awkward map to use the flak on, especially in the northern areas, but I suppose you can probably use it through this area of the map, which does see quite a lot of combat without too much trouble, so maybe as the battle heats up for this victory point, it'll become more useful. But yeah, Jeanne definitely using an unusual strategy here. And while we've got the reinforced cost buff, making this stuff cheaper to reinforce, really helps when you're getting sniped like crazy. The flak does work its way up to here. Decent retreats. Trying to get away.
The capture point is being overrun. Victory point belongs to the
Oh, Ricky Package Squad finds the sniper. One more. No. Oh, that is so painful. I've had that experience many a time myself. Ricky Package Squad called in some artillery there. Did get a hit on the retreating grenadier, didn't drop any models though. Kinda looks like on the mini-map there was a squad here, but no.
We're losing a munitions point.
Has got the artillery saturation upgrade as well. Taking into company command now, so kind of skipping the light vehicles altogether. Got 2 Jaegers already upgraded with Shreks.
Commander, territory is
So the lighter stuff doesn't work out too well. The Shreks are just so powerful, you know, 160 damage.
the enemy has
Fast rate of fire, incredible penetration. Jaeger squad definitely the hot ticket at the moment.
Airburst shells will decimate enemy infantry.
Okay, bringing in some artillery, gone to the airburst shells, which I think are not very strong this at the moment. But yeah, there's something. Looks like this is maybe going to prevent the capture for a little bit at least. The artillery up here.
The enemy has
Goes
our
into cap.
victory point now.
And yeah, it does get hit by it. Bit of a lucky break there for the posts. They do survive.
Artillery barrage on the way.
Okay, so some more Ricky Package artillery. Flares. I'm guessing so. Maybe this is the airburst shells. Okay, yep. Doesn't really hit too much though.
We're losing a fuel point to enemy action.
Big damage from that flak that's working its way forwards. So capping up here now. Cloudcore just about there for some tanks. And it's going to be a Grant first. Upgrading the side tech at the moment, so it does slow things down a bit. I'm a bit medium on the Grant. Not that impressed by it. You know, given that its main gun, you know, that when they're only used limited firing out forwards is limited in that fashion. You'd think it would be very strong, but you know, it's not that good against infantry. I think the Panzer IV's gun is just better in all regards, which is maybe a little bit disappointing considering how much you have to spend to get it out by comparison.
Time for a brew?
But here we go, first grunt in the build.
Commander, we have artillery on standby. A fuel point is being overrun.
This company is down. Didn't go for any whirlwinds from the Luftwaffe company. I believe, you know, it is cheaper to go for a Jaeger and a whirlwind than calling them in. So it is an option if you're going to go for that side tech, but did not. Alright, MG in an awkward position at the moment for Jeanne and has to get out of there. Oh wow, I didn't even notice this. A steal on the flak. Trying to get away now. Is that a grenade? No, that's artillery.
Victory point under enemy control.
And just has to get out of there. It's too much fire from Cloudcore. Full retreat. And the flak is stolen. It's going to make it back home with that. Pretty close on the victory points at this stage. Did I miss the sniper going down as well? I humbly apologize.
All victory points are under enemy control. We must counter it.
Hard to keep track of things sometimes with the current observer mode. We did see it escape on like very low, but did not see it return to action and die.
The fuel point is being overrun.
Well, Grant is driving around. So it's heading up to the north. Both of these upgrade with flamers, which, you know, that it was quite late upgrades on the flamers. Probably one of them should have been a sweeper just in case.
Territory lost.
Could be a few mines down. Don't want your first tank to be hitting the mine. Don't want any tanks to be hitting the mine, really. Couple okay hits there from the Grant. Meanwhile, we've got a Panzer IV. It's done some damage down the bottom, but the AT gun chases it off. So flak is going to survive. And I'll be really confused looking at these pictures. Which one's the flak, which one's the AT gun? Not much of a distinguishing feature in the icons there.
Are ready to be barraged at the first sign of enemy activity, Commander.
I think it's because it's a 6-pounder's gun shield. This is not very prominent at all.
Grant medium tank is reporting in.
Here come the double Shreks. You have to be careful. These guys can be hidden in camo, so can get some nasty ambushes going. Both of them missed though. Bit of a lucky break there for the Grant. And these sections hitting really hard here. Looks like he has gone for the upgrade, maybe. That's what it means. Requires no other upgrades. So these sections are doing well. And now we've got a second Grant on the field. And things are starting to go south a bit for Jeanne.
Grenade packages are inbound, Commander.
Panzer IV has to back out. Sections on the retreat path, trying to get some wipes here. And they do. Bosch and Pioneer go down. Grant's coming back in with the Panzer IV Trying to mount this defense.
Rifle grenades and anti-tank grenades are now available.
It's missing though a little bit.
Fuck me! Forward with haste.
Ooh, MG goes down these sections with the recce package. Doing a lot of damage.
You have 3 command points available. Enemies pushing the line.
Do remember you can merge with your grenadiers. And very worthwhile doing. Grenadiers, you know, have 80 health. Whereas if you merge them into Jaegers, they'll go up to 110 health. So,
Gurkha rifles
unlike in Company of Heroes 2, doesn't seem like in this game the merged units keep their individual stats, at least in terms of health. Not sure about received accuracy, but you know, getting 30 health for free and much cheaper reinforce. Seems like it's definitely worth spamming merge with your grenadiers on just about anything, even like anti-tank guns and stuff with like 100 health. So you should be merging as much as you can, really, with the grenadiers. I think weapon teams maybe 3 manpower more expensive to reinforce, so it's typically not a big manpower saving, but on some of these other units can be quite good. So Panzer IV a little bit isolated at the moment. So we've got another one in the build. So Jeanne just kind of has to stall until then. Is falling quite far behind on the victory points though. Cloudcore doing well with the double grants. Big hits from the Panzer IV. Does have the anti-tank grenade package unlocked, so Panzer IV has to respect the sections, and Cloudcore kind of baiting around the corner, and the Panzer IV falls for it, hook, line and sinker. Got a big blob of Jaegers in the retreat path though, should be focusing this section. Instead they're going for the grunt though, might be able to get that instead. And do. Okay, well that was great, even better. Wish Panzer IV arriving. Doesn't look like they did any damage though, doesn't have any veterancy. So it's just the Jaeger blob taking out that grunt. Just to bounce one shot with the grunt. Does have 170 frontal armor. I think the Shreks maybe have about 150 long-range pen. So they're just about 100% chance to pen.
Infantry will pillage anything they need from the enemy.
Here we go, the Jaeger blob coming in again. Oh, the squad died. Oh, Jeanne overstaying their welcome here. Drops down the planes, knocks out one grunt with the planes, but way overextending. Luckily, the suppression kicks in, pins both of those squads, so the other Jaeger does escape, but that was clumsy execution from Jeanne. Probably should have survived with all of those Jaegers, if I'm honest. Flak gun actually trying to shoot these planes down. This is in the danger zone though, could get targeted by the anti-infantry one. Looks like maybe they're just going to time out anyway. I think I did see somebody did some anti-air tests, and I was not impressed with their results, except for on the US Forces quad. I think maybe one of the vehicles when they're vetted up as well is quite good, but generally, considering how strong planes are in this game, it does feel like anti-air is a touch lackluster. Especially in these 1v1 situations where, you know, putting anti-air is already quite costly. It's all well and good to say just build a second anti-air unit for team games, which is maybe fine, but for 1v1, very painful. And it's just kind of stacked on top the fact that the planes are anti-everything again, you know. One plane anti-infantry, one plane anti-tank. Makes it hard to extract yourself. Pyro is very slow to start their retreat after repairs. You could see they were in the retreat animation for such a long time before they actually started running away. Makes me wonder if they're taking extra damage from the repair penalty as well for quite a lot of that retreat timing. It's very strange. Couple mines coming up now, which I think is a very good idea.
Enemy infantry are getting shot
But Jeanne, I think, is in some major trouble now with most of those Jaegers going down. They have a much harder time
We're losing a victory.
against the Grants.
The enemy's wavering.
And this
They're
is
down
where
to
maybe
only
the
100
Brit
points.
reinforced cost bonuses start to kick in long term.
Victory
33%
point
reduced
is in enemy hands.
reinforced cost is just very good for your manpower in these late game scenarios. So managing to cap up here though. Cloudcore has such a comfortable lead though, 340 VPs. Looking at some Gurkhas now. I'm a little bit surprised by that. I thought it would be another Grant, but I guess the fuel is just not there for that. Maybe he's got another Grant in the build as well. Yes, okay. Harder to see that these days. What's in the queue? I do feel like that's probably a slightly inferior system compared to Company Heroes 2.
We're losing a munitions point.
I'm going to click on the individual tech structure to see what's coming in, but alright.
The Grant medium tank is supporting it. Our strategic point is being overrun.
Do adapt to it. I've got a flamer up here. Retreats out the wrong door. I wonder if that door's broken.
Enemy fire!
This makes things awkward on retreat.
We've lost a
Grant
sector
coming
to
in,
the enemy.
looking for the wipe. Double Panzer IVs are there as well. We've got the Gurkhas upgraded with the LMGs, but that's just so much firepower. Jaeger, no hope of getting out of there. But yeah, you can see it looks like that door does have some damage there, so it probably wasn't functioning. And it's just so hard to know in this game how you're going to get in and out of these buildings. I think if the Jaeger had retreated out of this door, he probably would have survived. Bit of a duel up here. Grant versus the Panzer IVs. In fact, we've got a third Panzer IV getting involved now. The second Grant's down by the far VP. Grant did pop the rate of fire boost. Panzer IV taking an engine crit there, decides to back out. At this stage, you would think we'd maybe see some skirts on these Panzer IVs. Gonna go for some upgrade, some pyros rather, for the repairs. Ricky package providing some vision, it looks like. Back on the drain for Jeanne. Bit slow getting these pyros into action with the repairs.
Sector overrun. The enemy has it.
It's just so low on infantry now with Jeanne. Really just can't do anything. So much repairs required on all these tanks. The flares providing perfect vision of what's going on. Bringing in something. Airburst shells somewhere. A little bit confusing. Yeah, here we go. The Grant's rolling up. We've got to be careful. Two Panzer IVs there on the sides, but the AT gun's been pushed up nicely. All that vision from the flares making this a lot easier. Panzer IVs taking a very risky path through here. The Grant easily could have got the kill. Doesn't look like the Grants have been upgraded with the training yet, but doesn't look like it's going to matter too much. They're coming in. And that's going to be it. Jeanne throwing in the towel with that Grant push. Understandable. Alright, so yeah, it was a bit of an unusual build from Jeanne. Going for Luftwaffe, not spamming Luftwaffe pyros. Alright. Solid play from Cloudcore. I think, you know, mitigating the damage from the sniper, kind of playing in the northern area of the map. Didn't take too much bleed trying to play through around here where I think the sniper could be more potent. And able to recover. Just going straight in though, no light vehicles. Didn't get to see any of the buffed Humber. But maybe that was for the best with those Jaegers being so potent. Did have double Royal Engineers though, could have kept up repairs on it in the early game. But yeah, Jeanne, I think maybe just a little bit unpracticed with this faction at this stage. You know, even not following the meta, like ignoring that. Just some of the unit control, you know, losing all these Jaegers up here during that push was probably the GG moment, which is so far behind after that. Hard to come back. Hard to deal with these grunts. But yeah, the Panzer IVs I do think do have a favourable matchup. I think they both have same frontal armour. Skirts obviously can help things out, and I think the Panzer IV does have better long-range penetration than the Grunt, so with its main gun, you know, same thing with this, and obviously has a turret, so it can be a bit more mobile. But yep, didn't end up mattering too much in this one. Cloudcore able to close things out. Well played. Well, anyway guys, wrap on that. If you like your game to be cast by me, details in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you off the next thrilling installment. Goodbye and good luck.